so my name's Lire and I'm the principal games designer on F1 2016. I've worked on the series since we started in 2010.
And principal game designer, it's a title, it's a wonderful title, but what you do exactly day after day?
So day to day for me really is it's bringing together all of the components of the game and all of the different designers that work on each of the areas, to make one complete package. It's that vision of what Formula 1 2016 should be. We have a large number of people working on different areas, and it's making sure that all those areas gel together to produce a fully cohesive game.
Can you explain to us how you decide to become a designer? When and why?
When I was young, I loved games. I played games to death, and when I was 16 years old, I left school and I got a job as a games tester. And ever since then, I've stayed in the games industry in different roles, but I've always wanted to work in design. And then when Codemasters acquired the Formula 1 license, it gave me the opportunity to work in design. And I'm an obsessive Formula 1 fan. Any form of motorsport, I absolutely love it. So I absolutely jumped at the chance to work on Formula 1.
Is it not difficult for a game designer to work on something real? Because this is a license, so you have no choice. You have to reproduce exactly the reality. Is it not a frustration for you?
Not at all. I always say to some of the guys on the team, when we were looking for new designers, and you think, well, do they think they're going to be very restricted in what they can do by working on a licensed title? And I always think it challenges the designer to be more intelligent, to come up with different ways of doing things. So it's never the same. We do Formula 1 every year, and yet it's never the same every year. We always come up with different ways of doing things. And as the relationship with Formula 1 matures as well, they allow us to do more things. So you'll see the game really does advance quite differently every year.
Working for brand, for licensing, is it really as difficult as we think?
It's tricky because there's always time constraints on things. People are very busy. Formula 1's a very busy sport. But we've got a great relationship with all of the teams. So, when we send assets over, they go through a process and we get feedback as to whether we need to make changes or whether they're okay to go into the game and be seen by the public.
And now we speak really about the game. So, can you pitch us what's really new in this 2016 version?
So the obviously big improvement in 2016 is that we've included a new career system, a new career mode in the game. But first and foremost, something we've never done before is really give the player that sense of being themselves within the game world. So you get to select an avatar to represent yourself, you get to specify a helmet and then set the colours for the helmet. So it's very personal to you as a player. And then you get to pick the driver number that you'll take with you through your career. That career can span as many as 10 years in F1 2016 if you choose to play it that way. So if you choose to enter the sport, and you can pick any team, if you choose to enter in one of the lower teams, you'll find yourself having to spend years developing the car, working your way up the grid. Or alternatively, you may want to just look for a better drive and look for a contract and move to a faster team. Alternatively, you may start out in one of the quick teams and they expect you to win straight away. So the goals are always very different based on the team you've chosen. But yeah, so ultimately the new career mode is certainly the deepest career we've ever had in a Formula 1 game. You're working on R&D, you're working on contract moves, you're working on short-term rivalries, you're working on improving the car, improving the team, getting that first driver position. All of the things that happen in the real world of Formula 1, now presented in a really rich, immersive career with locations within the paddock.
If you have to choose one point in this version, which one you choose? Which one is the point where from you are the most proud?
Do you know what I think? It's hard to pick. It's a bit of a cop-out, but I think the career as a whole comes together really well. I think all of the elements that we came up with in the first instance and put together to build the career makes it. It's just rich. There's things you're always doing. You always feel like you're progressing, and I think for me the most important thing is that feeling of picking a team and then fighting to bring them through the field. That's what I really look forward to. Personally, I'm looking forward to starting my career with the Renault and trying to make the Renault the winning team.
What is your best souvenir for this development?
So, obviously career is an entire mode in itself, but something that we've brought in this year, which I think is absolutely stunning, is we've got a time of day weather system. where the player can, outside of the career, actually specify what time of day they wish to play the game. So you get the beautiful low sun in the sky, the shadows cast across the track surface. Sometimes you get the glare of the sun in your face, and all that really sort of illuminates what's going on in the environment. So the dust and the particles look alive. The track surface gets that sheen to it. It's visually, an absolutely stunning title.
Do you think that you can implement the VR in now or perhaps in the future version? Are you interested by this?
Oh, very interested, very interested. I mean, it's obviously going to take off in a big style now. Now we're getting support on consoles with PSVR, which is fantastic. But also, I mean, what wouldn't be better than Formula One in VR? I mean, it's the pinnacle of motorsport, and you're in a cockpit in a helmet. I mean, the immersion as you look around, it'd be absolutely spectacular.
Yeah. And for 16 or for 17? The VR?
We're investigating. It's one of those things that we're very interested in, and we've been looking at for a while, and we'll continue to do so.
I tried to know. And my last question is easy. Imagine your best friend don't know your games. What do you say to him to convince him to buy it?
Well, Formula One is the most glamorous and most exciting and fastest motorsport on the planet. Why would you not want to play a really exciting version of that on your home console in your lounge? I mean, that's why you play Formula One. It's the excitement, it's the glamour, and it's the highest form of motorsport in the world.
A bonus question, because I just forget to ask you. F1 is a simulation, a real simulation that you can play with drive, wheel, with pad. Do you think for casual people it is affordable? Do you think that regular people would just want to play sometimes can buy your game?
Yeah, so I mean, we know Formula One's a challenging game to play, and we know that we've got a really good suite of assists in there that make the game a lot easier to play. I mean, just seeing how people have been playing it at the show, a wide range of people have been able to get the car around the track quite easily. But we wanted to take it further than that, so we've actually got tutorials in the game this year as well. So if something happens, you can bring up a tutorial and be educated on what's happened. We've also added to the practice sessions some practice programs, one of which is a track acclimatisation test. So it gives the player a better way of learning where the turning point is, where the apex is, and where the exit of the corner is. Following the dynamic racing line is great, but if you can educate somebody how to drive a corner, how to race a car, they'll get more out of the experience and become better for it.